it's late, but I figure I do a micro test to see how traction goes around this time while I resume the paintings. You know what? I'll do this in a bit later. I will try to work on first with this after a very brief wipe down. Oh my god, what the heck is that? And let's see. Hopefully the audio will not be as awful as it was earlier, but no promises. I don't know how to view live chat, so I apologize. So, yep, just do this because I need yellow. Yellow, where are you? I'll just use this one for now. Oh my gosh, my brushes are... I just washed you a few weeks ago. What's up? Anyway, how you been? All 0 of you at the time. I know I did a live stream just yesterday. I'm like, why are you doing it now? It's because I have the time. Usually around this time I would resume painting, but this time around I figured, okay, let's just do this and see what happens. The only downside about painting like this is sometimes I lose, or most times rather, I lose the line art. But the good thing about using the phone is it's a lot more, I don't want to say intimate, that's creepy, but like it's a lot more up close and I can maneuver the phone a lot better than my usual webcam thingy because that one's stuck on a tripod. Oh shoot, this one has ink that comes off. Good to know. That doesn't matter anyway because I'm going to paint over it later. Not too bad. And I'm not sure whether or not I can do like a chat response. I don't know how to do that. I'm dinosaur. I'm sorry. But yeah, I can get some more card art done. In the last live stream, the actual live stream time yesterday, I went through my 100 card deck. The second card deck I completed. Check that out, but it's a little boring. It's interesting for me, but there's no guarantee it's interesting for other people. But if you like, check it out. And this now is basically card deck 3. So I already started on deck 3. I've yet to combine both decks 1 and 2 because I don't have enough room here. I need to figure it out. Eventually I will, but no promises right now. I just wanted to get deck 2 done and over with. It took way longer than I wanted to because I think I micro burnt out after 200 plus cards. Not just those 2 decks, but like the pink cherry blossom deck and card 3 and the playing card deck. Yeah, I lost my mind. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Anyway, also I was suggested to try different times. Oh my gosh. Please excuse me. I don't know if you heard that, but can you not do that, please? Anyway, I'm not grounding you for bodily functions, but you know you can go in the other room, please. Okay? I know you do this for attention, so don't do that. I will be quite cross. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted. Hi, I'm just doing this painting thing here, and hopefully it'll work out. Has anyone watched Claymore before? I liked it a lot, but I was so mortified that they never continued the follow-up stories after I think episode 26 or 27. And I waited and waited and waited and waited, then finally caved in and read the manga series, the entire manga series. It was pretty good. Kind of weird, but pretty good. There were a whole bunch of Claymores. I was like, oh shoot, I wish they had those animated, but I think one of them that was super weird was Cassandra, I think her name was, because she attacks like a crab. Like, I don't know, it was so weird, but I was like, I wonder how that looks like animated. But yeah, they never followed up on that, and I was so disappointed. I should draw her actually. Okay, so yeah, here's the thing with this kind of work. I have to keep doing layers and waiting in between. That's why I take so long on camera. Whereas if I do it on off camera, it's so much faster, and I'm not, you know, scrutinized. If you hear background noise, the editor is watching his stories, and they're all in Chinese. So this is what I worked on earlier yesterday, and it's Vampire Princess Miu, like 2 colors. I thought this was pretty interesting to try, but I'm trying to do this whole watercolor look. It's a thing. That's all I can say. Whether or not I achieve that, I don't know yet. But now my paints, I stuffed them away somewhere after, because some other people want to use my desk. And now I have to try to clean it up, apparently. And then I realized my reference for this is on my phone. why do I have stuff on my phone? I can't look at it. I could look for it on the PC, but I don't want to right now. And yes, I tried to test during the daytime and the afternoon on different days. The traction's not very good. So this is my report on what I've been doing and what works and what does not work. And I was suggested at one point to try around this time, maybe between 11 to, but around that time I have to do night chores. I have to clean up. If I have extra time, maybe I can go on here on the weekend, preferably, especially when it's near my kids' school time. I can't be like this, so it would most likely be on a weekend day. I would like to go on weekdays, but I can't afford to do that right now because people gotta sleep. Sorry. But I'll see what I can do. But right now, what I'm looking at with the people showing up, thank you so much. Um, I usually don't get a lot of people because I'm boring. But I'm trying to do other things when I can, when I don't feel like crap. And um, I do make comparisons between my experiences on Instagram versus, um, what is it, here. And I do get a lot more views and traction on here versus Instagram. And Instagram's gotten worse in terms of trying to appeal to like new, like regular people that's been there for a while. But like I'm not even in 300 followers. And it's been like that for several months already. And while I gave up, I'm still posting on there like a crazy person, but it's getting less and less and less and less. And while I can post on YouTube, there's a lot more rules, and now I have to shift gears because Instagram seems to be not wanting me around, and I don't like wasting my time, especially as I get old. So I have to figure something out now when I don't feel like trash. I don't mean like in my head, I mean just like I'm tired all the time, that's all. But I would like to try to switch gears and eventually get onto YouTube a little bit more, despite my complaints. I do acknowledge that I get better audience. I don't know about audience, but like it's there's more activity. That's what I mean. There's more activity here than on Instagram. I don't know if you've heard about how some people will pay to get more followers, comments, and likes and stuff. But if you have that option, I saw that ad a while, like maybe last year or 2 years ago. You can buy your followers, you can buy likes, comments. And I think some people on DMs, they DM me asking me, oh, do you want to get more followers and more traction on your account? You should pay me this money and I can help you out. I'm like, ew, no, give me money, you bum. Why would I give you money to get more attention? Ew. I do prefer having to garner views, likes, and comments out of my own merits, more or less anyway, or at least it doesn't involve me paying people to get me followers. I think that's kind of weird. Very weird. I don't understand. But if this time frame, this time is more suitable for people not just from the US, then I may consider doing this preferably on the weekend. And from what I'm seeing with the people on here, it's leaning towards that very hard. Thank you so much for dropping by. I know I'm not much. I don't finish my projects live because I got stuff to do. I'm tired and this and that, this and that. Um, I haven't been doing Black Myth Wukong gaming or any gaming in general because I only like Black Myth Wukong. I'm still also super behind on the fan art. There's so much fan art I've been seeing. I want to work on the Scorpion King, but his character design is so intimidating. Also, the Chapter 6 armor of the Destined one, I would love to do that, but again, it's intimidating. I'm a weak baby. Even the non-pure armor really kicked me in the kicked me in the head because it was that detailed, but I did love the results. So I may actually work on that on an actual painting or both that and the Chapter 6 armor. And then the other thing was a while ago, recently, there was another merch release that my husband received from Game Science, the creators of Black Myth Wukong. But I was asking, like, is there any hint or idea about the next DLC from Black Myth Wukong? No. I tried looking, I didn't see anything. I think there was a hint in one of their Chinese advertisements several months ago, and they mentioned like on an, I think it was what is it? A license plate in one of their ads, 820, and it's already August. So I don't know if that I don't. That's just a very very guesstimation. It's not an official thing, but hey, it's already August, so I got something to look forward to. Maybe I don't know, but that's the only thing I play. There are some other games, of course, but I'm not interested. I try to be interested, but people say, "Oh, that you should try it. It's a good game," and I'm like, I'm not really good with words, but I just release sounds and sounds of discomfort when I really don't feel like I want to try. But if you have any suggestions for games um, that won't give me high blood pressure, I don't mind trying a little bit. I do have a few games on this computer, but it's mostly Street Fighter and I think Soul Calibur. And there was also a discount for Mega Man, the Mega Man collection. I kind of miss. I don't like all of them. I only like X and Mega Man 3 because Mega Man 3 has the nicest soundtrack ever. Even up to this day, I will listen to Mega Man 3 music because I'm a dork. Not the good kind. It's the one that you get the what the fuck face sometimes. Like, oh, you big dork. Why are you listening to that at your big age? Well, that's why I have earphones, so you don't have to listen to that discomfort. Anyway, so for those of you unaware, this is Princess Miu from, or rather just Miu from Vampire Princess Miu, the OVA series. I recommend that over the TV series. I don't like the TV series. They add gimmicky characters, little mascots that have little whimsical whimsy in their persona, and the art is not as good. I would recommend the manga and the OVA series. Don't watch the TV. I mean, you can try it. If you're lucky, you'll find it for free on YouTube, but it's just meh. And basically, it's about this 13, 14-year-old vampire girl. Well, when she turned, she was around that age, but she's probably like 58 or so. I don't know. And then she and her guardian larva, the big blue guy. Do I have the big blue guy? This dude here. They try to get rid of the Shinma, the demons that come out, and they try to banish them back to um, their their lair that they're supposed to be from, because they go into the human world and take all the blood, and they're like, "Hey, that's my blood," and so they fight these demons and send them back to their own world. So it's pretty interesting to me, anyway. But it's only like 4 episodes, so it's really, really short. But that's all right. I don't mind it being a little short as long as it's entertaining. Like stretching it out to like 72 episodes and there's fillers and bullshit. I'm at an age where I don't have that kind of time anymore. So short episodes, I'm so down for. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to paint. I'm also not sure how to find if there's any live chat. I have no idea. Would anyone like to help me? I this is me on my phone, not on my webcam setup, and I'm a little concerned the audio is a bit choppy. That's how it was the first attempt, so I'm going to be hearing how this sounds afterwards. I'm a little apprehensive, but we'll find out together at some point. And this is probably the most viewers I've had in ever. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope I'm entertaining, but no promises because reasons. I don't know. I didn't realize I'd be this nervous. Fun fact: every time I do a live stream, I'm freaking nervous every single time. But I just keep saying things until I feel a bit less nervous. And then the other thing is, I've talked to a few people, maybe like on threads, where they want to garner more traction for their work, but they don't know where to start. And I gave them the suggestion to try YouTube, which is rich coming from me. I originally did not want to go on YouTube, but because Instagram, it's making people less and less. Um, they don't. I don't feel wanted there, so we have to go somewhere else. And YouTube is the second place I know of. Otherwise, new places, there's usually a paywall or there's some weird things or glitches, and I don't have that kind of time. Whereas at least I am familiar with the YouTubes. Even if there are a lot of rules, even if there are people saying YouTube is dead, 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 it's still pretty good compared to where I'm at Instagram. I have over maybe 1,200 posts total, and I only have 297 followers. And I had been trying to pat myself on the back a bit, but then compared to YouTube, if you see how many followers I have there, you see what I mean. Um, it's a bit daunting. It's a bit disheartening and tiring. And like, why am I trying? But I feel like if I stop, I'm not going to do any art. Once I stop doing art, I don't want to do it. So I have to keep doing it. And it's not like I have to. It's just I like doing it. But if I stop, I will get lazy. And lazy I have been these past few days. Not handfuls of weeks, especially when I was in China for 2.5 weeks. I was able to do art, but I wasn't able to go online. Oh, I can talk a little bit about the China trip. For those of you interested in the Korean War, there is a museum in Dandong City dedicated specifically for the Korean War because nearby that area, more or less, there is. What about you, sir? You were there, but you were uncomfortable. You were complaining every 5 minutes, Mr. Sir. Um, there is a huge Korean War museum there, and they have English subtitles. So if you go there, you can go there, but not everything is translated. It's humongous. And if you're going to say, oh, it's all fake, no, it ain't. They don't, I mean, even if they did have the time to be that detailed with all that stuff they gathered a lot of evidence. It's quite extensive. And so I didn't remember it being that humongous, but it is. Sorry, I'm looking for other. I lost my paint again, you dork. Oh my gosh. So that museum, they obviously tell the story from their perspective. Whether or not they're embellished, I don't know, but they had a lot of evidence. And they were surprisingly nice when we were trying to get in and they said, "Oh, you need your card information on your phone and to scan it on the QR code." And like we're tourists, we don't have that crap. But then at first we were shunned, but right before we left, some of the security guards say, "Oh no, you can go in, just have your ID and they'll help with you. And it's free." I was like, "Did you say free?" So we beeline back up, but it was such a far walk. And the security guard, and they see me and my son's passport. We're American. They didn't say enemy, get out, boo. They didn't do that. They're like, oh yeah, sure, let's help you. They were super nice. So we're like, oh yeah, okay, sure. And there was no money. You can get in for free. Of course, there's heavy security. You're not just beelining and jumping over things like the subway stations here. Okay, they'll get you. They'll get you. But they were super nice if you follow the rules. And so my husband, son, and I went there, and it's so freaking huge. And there was a lot of information. And they also included the bombed bridge across North Korea to Dandong City over the Yalu River. I took a lot of pictures and some video, but it was mostly pictures. Would you guys want to see that stuff? It will mostly be pictures, though. It'll be kind of like a slideshow sort of thing. Let me know. I don't know if I can tell from here about any comments, but maybe I should do a post. I saw a post, but I've been kind of distracted and tired. But let me know. And so overall, I was learning and taking pictures, and I was like, okay, I see. But there are some things that are not translated. I had to ask my husband, what are they saying here? What's that over there? And I don't know about him being a history buff, but he is good with memory. So he'll remember things from high school and stuff. And I'll be like, what's that? What's that? Oh, okay, what's that? And their displays of the war is insane. Not bad insane, but there's a lot of detail, plenty of detail, and it's huge. And then at the end, there's a gift shop. Don't ask me why that is, but that's how it is. And I only bought a few small things here and there, so nothing too extravagant, obviously. But overall, I thought it was a pretty interesting place to go to. A little bit nerve-wracking initially when we were not sure how to get in with admissions. Like, do we pay? What is it? But if for whatever reason you go to Dandong City in Liaoning Province, China, and you're not going to cause a ruckus because they have heavy security there, then I would suggest trying to go there to educate, to learn about another side of history from the other perspective, not just what we've been told here, which is not a lot. I think I mentioned when I was in high school, the Korean War was a blurb, like, oh, it happened. Let's go to the next one. I was like, what? And it only had I remember it being one paragraph in a history book, U.S. history book, and then they just went on to the next whatever war it was. I was like, oh, that's shitty. What? But when you're a kid, you don't give a crap. You just want to get on with your day. You want to finish school. You want to take your little nap, do your reading and homework, and continue with life. You're not questioning what happened during the. No, I was not like that. So yeah, that was kind of interesting how that turned out. Okay, I would probably wrap things up a bit soon. I mean, it is kind of late, but if you want me to go around around this time, I will most likely do this on the weekend, preferably Friday to Saturday if I don't have to go anywhere. Big fat if. Because I am seeing a lot more results around this time, funny enough. Whereas in the afternoon where I'm at, it's like I'm lucky enough to get one person. I'm lucky enough to get 3 people longer than 4 minutes to stick around. So thank you so much for dropping by. Thank you so much if you actually hung around here. I'm not sure how to ask questions on this layout, but if I figure it out, I'll figure it out. Slowly but surely. Okay, so now I gotta wait for this sucker to dry. And now this one, is it dry enough? Yeah, I think so. So I think I have to try to put I'll put yellow paints first. And see if I could find Claire. Goodness gracious. Come on, let's go. Let's see. Claymore, anime. Claire, right? Oh, that's how you spell it. Do they have the cover? Please have the cover. They do. Okay, yay. Oh, Okay, so I put on the hair, I see. I might actually reread this manga again, but I will watch the anime first. But I watched it so many times, I got a little tired of it, so I have to wait a bit. But I don't mind rewatching it again. And then going back to the manga, I have to find where I can read it for free. They close down so fast. If you try to read for free, like they have the um, English translations, and when they re-upload them, they get closed down so fast. Like, oh, it's like a weekly basis. It feels like, oh, I found a new one. They close down and switch to another one. And then you go to that one. They close down and do it. Like, oh my gosh, it's like almost a weekly, every other day basis. It's pretty stupid, but they don't have it out on at the bookstore, the Japanese bookstore where I go to anymore. I'd have to buy it on eBay, and I have to buy the entire set, and they are about maybe almost $200. It'd be like 199, 120 something. 120 is not too bad, but I'm like, ugh. So I try to find it for free online. I cannot say where I can read it right now because whatever I mention, it tends to close down, or they don't have it available because it's licensed. And that sucks, but that's how it is. Gosh, I wish I can see if people talk on here. I don't know how to do that. Can I check on here? Lighting, blah. No? Okay, it doesn't say here. To guard your privacy and abide our community guidelines. Sorry, I'm just looking at how to do things. Chat filter, top messages, community. Oh, no one's saying anything, so that's fine. I understand. Okay. So I will make notes that around this time is good, but it's super late for me. So I probably have to take a nap, my old lady nap. Then I can do this sort of stuff. Maybe on Friday, but that's if my family isn't doing their live stream. That's another thing. They do their own thing. I have my own thing. So I cannot always guarantee that I will be there consistently, especially if I'm doing this impromptu or totally random at times. But we'll see what happens. Um, if I get more people, then I don't mind. But the other thing is, I have to consider the idea of moderators because sometimes I do watch other people's live streams, and then there's like, but they have like hundreds and hundreds of people coming in, and I don't even have that money feature thing yet. I don't know if I'll do that. Maybe I will, but I don't know about now. Where's the orange? What color is that? Is that pink? It's kind of weird color. Let's see. Let's just try. That's a little too orange. Anyway, what can I talk about that's been going on recently? Oh, I keep hearing women talking about that tea app. Have you people heard of that before? Where I think originally it started off like with Facebook groups about did we date the same guy or some other. And I was like, uh, I'm so glad I'm antisocial. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know any of this weird stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's a thing. And then they talk about how this T app helps women determine what kind of person the guy they dated are like, whether or not he's safe to be around, or he's kind of like he has a multitude of red flags or not so great habits and stuff. And originally, I think the original intent sounded good, like for safety purposes, where this person kind of does questionable things that are not very good towards women. Maybe we should know about that. I understand, but on the other side of the coin, who's to say women are not very violent towards men either? So I think if women have that, men should have that too. You may say, oh, women have this a lot more than, like, that doesn't mean that men don't get any, violent interactions with women either. So you want equality, give some to the men too, right? And then they also like to showcase personal information, or doxing, if what the young people say, of these men. And I don't know how I feel about that, just because even if they're bad people and you want to call them out under legal pretenses, I'm not sure if that's a good thing. I don't know much about the law, but I'm pretty sure, like, exposing their information out there is not very good. I think you'd have to go the legal route to do that kind of crap before you start doing that stuff online. But meanwhile, a whole bunch of women were praising and glorifying this concept of, keeping, protecting each other's back. And then their stuff got hacked shortly after. I was like, what? And I think I left a comment on someone's take on the T app. Whereas if I don't want to be talked about, I don't want to talk about anybody. I'll keep my mouth shut. If I do talk about other people, it be in the privacy of my home, my phone is off. And I don't even have friends, so that saves me a lot of trouble. But at the same time, though, if I don't want to be talked about, I don't want to talk about other people. And that seems to be my way of idiot proofing myself. And so I'm so glad I never joined that stuff. It's not for me. I don't like talking bad about other people. I've had people talk bad about me, and so I don't want that on happen to others. So that's why I'm like, no, I can't do that stuff. Unless I really, 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 really don't like you, and that's like a very rare instance. You don't give me a reason to talk bad about you, and I won't. Yeah, let's reciprocate. Let's cooperate. I mean, um. Anyway, yeah, that's what I've been seeing, and I'm like, ugh, I don't know. I don't have much an opinion about stuff I didn't participate in, but just something I saw on a whim recently. Okay, what else is there? There is a kind of gray. Can I try brown? Yeah. Hey, lower that. I already told you. So, fun fact, this is the most people I've had on my live stream. So, I'm always grateful for that. I wasn't sure this was going to do much of anything. I just figured, let's just, oh, this is too dark. I figured, let's just see what happens. And if it turns out well, then this is an opportunity to do this, preferably on the weekend. And maybe a holiday on a weekday, because I can't guarantee I can be consistent with this kind of scheduling. But this is a good test so far. I am happy. Okay, maybe this is okay. I just have to add this stuff here. It's kind of ugly though. But here we are. Oh, it's already 1:03. I have to wrap things up. It's almost my bedtime. Go to bed. I don't wanna. Okay. Let's see here. Here. So yeah, for those of you unaware or don't have Instagram, I can't go on Instagram live streams anymore because they delegated that more towards people with 1,000 followers. I don't have that. And so here I am. And then with this phone option, I was overdue with testing it. And the last time I did was like maybe a weekend or two ago, or a Friday or so ago. And I have no idea how to work. It's a lot faster than the one with my PC. The only other thing, though, is the audio is a little bit janky. It's a little bit distorted when I play it back. Oops. And so that was my only gripe about doing live stream on my phone. But other than that, I do notice a significant amount of traction using it and around different times, like now apparently. So I will most definitely try to do this a little bit more often, but it's going to be like once a weekend. Um, and I don't know whether to make it consistent with my Wednesday afternoon or just make it an extra, because I did say I would keep this as a test. But I am just wanting to see how this goes because I've been trying to do what I can with Instagram and it's like failing, 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 failing. I get only views, but no one, like, only the few friends that have time will like it. I'm not counting on my friends that have lives and they don't have the time. Of course, not, far from it. Just trying to grow my freaking account is not working over there. It's like never moving. I'm tired. And then people say like just don't worry about that. Just do what you Yeah, I've been doing it and it's not doing much and no one's really looking at it. So I'm like I need to go somewhere else where people actually give a crap. Even if they do look at it and then go on their merry way, there's still a lot more people than Instagram. So here I am. Da 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 da. Okay, so this is kind of too dark, I am finding out, but I just want to try to make it a little more, lighten it, I don't know. And then, well, at least I'm getting art done, that's good. And if you haven't watched my last live stream from yesterday morning, I finished my 100 card deck, the second card deck. And if you want to see all 100 cards, some of them I might skip over. Oh, no, I did not skip over, but maybe I looked at it faster than some others, but you can check it out if you like. You can skip around. I'm not too offended about that. I'm not expecting to watch the entire set of me yammering on and then cards. But if you're curious about what kinds of cards I make, feel free to check that one out in particular. Um, like I mentioned, this is the third deck I'm working on with a combination of playing cards and cherry blossom cards. Oh, and if you want to see what kind of stuff I do, here is Evil Ryu. And his teeth are kind of messed up looking, but try drawing on acrylic paint and you'll get what I mean. Other than that, I really liked how this turned out. It's pretty fun. I just worry this looks like a sunflower growing out of his chest, but it's not. It's an open wound. And then, what else? I also have Eon Flux. I still have to do the highlights in the hair and maybe do something with the background, but I'll just keep it to a bare minimum. Just okay. Random Dog, I also have to work on. Oh, actually, I'll work on this a little bit now, I think. Let this one take a breather. And where are my pens? Okay, will this work? Okay, good. Oh, I don't have thin pen. If I use a thin pen on acrylic paint, it's going to get messed up. So, I don't know who this dog is. I saw it on Instagram, and I liked the googly eyes, and here we are. I know I should just do acrylic paint, do the line art, but I'm not that good of an artist. So what? So what? Anyway, yeah, sorry I gripe a lot. They always say, like, these documentaries where you shouldn't worry about doing your art and blah 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 and getting likes and views, and it's harder than it sounds. Okay, you try to not give a crap, but when you don't see much progress in your account, you can't help but want to get better and you don't know how. I mean, you can study your analytics and all that crap, but I don't really see the point of that half the time. Plus my eyes glaze over when I look at it. Anyway, I do like that the traction here is a lot more kinder, but sometimes the audience I have from this is not from my art, so I also have to try to a little bit harder on that, hopefully. And then we have the Nudja movie preview clip. I'm on live stream, so they heard that. Thanks for you want I can't it's easy for you to say that as a guy. If I said that on your live stream, it'd be like, ew, monster, monster that takes a dump. Like right? If a guy says I have to poo, it's like okay, guys do that. If a girl says that, men clutch their pearls. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. But anyway, everybody poops. Your mom, your dad, your hot sister, they all poop. Don't get me started on farts either. Anyway, well, recently I've been listening on Instagram stories from nurses and ER technicians. Are they called technicians or people who work with ER and the kinds of ratchet reasons why people end up in the ER? And they're usually interesting stories. Like just go on reels long enough and you will see a whole bunch of things like what? Why? Why? And then it does get addictive after a while like, "Oh my god, I never heard of that story." And I have a few family members in the that works in the medical field, so and I don't have the heart to ask them their stories because they probably have some kind of confidentiality to not disclose that kind of information, but they do have public stuff online. I don't feel like looking for that, but then when you see them on Instagram, whether or not it's true, I'm going to say yes until proven otherwise. But at the same time, I don't take it seriously. But it is an interesting story to say during family gatherings, just not at a dinner table. Preferably not at a dinner table. But goodness gracious, people like to shove stuff up their butts. I don't understand that. I'm like, I what? I don't know. See, that's why I said no, this is not for children. Because some of the stuff I see, and I'm not actively looking for that stuff. They find me, okay? I'm not like, let's see what they put up this week. No. But I'm like, why? Why would you? Why? Why, life? Why? Why do I know these things? Can I go back to my poor, sweet summer child self 2 weeks ago? No. I can never get it back. Anyway, so yeah, I try to fix what I could, and sometimes I don't have the reference on hand, so I have to see what I have the on the card. But sometimes turns out I was wrong. This is not correct, but oh well. As long as the likeness is there, that's important. That's the important part. As long as it looks like the original reference, that's all that matters, okay? And then I think yesterday I saw some post about this kid, probably a teenager, early 20s kind of guy, and he says like, "I am a bad artist. Let me draw your portrait. $5. I will not change my art style ever." And he has like 5, 10K likes. And the art has a style. It's not bad. So, I think if it's bad if I don't know. I don't think it was bad. It was just it has a style. If there's a style, it's not necessarily bad, but maybe by conventional standards, artistic standards, it may be considered ugly, but I don't think so. And a lot of people apparently agreed. Meanwhile, I do this kind of stuff. And anime or like pop culture art, and I'm like, who doesn't do that? And it's like, why do I bother sometimes? But the problem is I like what I'm doing. I think if I was doing things other people like, I would not be very happy about it. That's why I keep doing what I do. That's the only thing that keeps me going. If I didn't like what I was doing, I wouldn't do any art at all. I think I mentioned a while ago um, how I got into doing posting art online via DeviantArt. I had a friend who introduced it to me originally on Gaia Online or Go Gaia. That's how old I am, and it's embarrassing, but she wanted me to draw for an art contest, but she wanted me to do it instead of her because she can't draw. And so she made me do it. And I was like, what do I get? I don't think she gave me money, but she probably just gave me food or some shit. So I was like, okay, fine. And I was like in my late teens, early 20s, give or take. I forgot. And so I did the contest. I did like the original character of the person hosting the contest. I didn't win and I was butthurt as hell. But then later on, I didn't know. I think I got like second or third place, maybe third place. Second place seems a bit too high, but I was bitter as hell. Mine was the best. But the reason why I didn't win was because everyone else ahead of me did digital art. At the time, I did a watercolor painting. Um, and so I was butthurt, and I was like, well, what do I do now? Shit, what's the point? And she suggested I can do more posts on Gaia Online or Go Gaia back then, and I was like, I'm not on there that much. I'm not big on forums because if you've been familiar with forums, they type a lot, and I don't like that. So then later on, she found out about DeviantArt, which was the one I joined in eventually, and met a few of my friends. Some of them I still talk to this very day. And she was telling me how to upload things online, and just the idea of just posting my work online for people around the world to see what I can do. It astounded me as hell. I was like, what the heck? You can post things online, scan it into your computer, do some little test, fix some things here and there, and then post it online for a bunch of strangers to see from other countries around the world. It's freaking amazing. Nowadays, no one gives a shit, but I'm still amazed that I have that opportunity at all. I appreciate a lot more because I was at a time where there was no such thing. So I think for me and people around my age or a little older to go to such a website to upload art, I think I'm pretty sure a good chunk of us appreciate it a lot more than us born into it. Anyway, and so I did. After a few trial runs, I figured how to do the stuff by myself, and it was amazing. I managed to meet a bunch of cool people. Most of them really cool. Some of them are kind of stupid, but I learned already that that's the internet for you. And thankfully, I was so glad that I met the cool people that I did. Though I didn't end up not keeping contact with most of them, but at the same time, the experiences were well worth it. And we would just exchange ideas, have kiribans, collaborations, geek out on things, and it was a whole bunch of fun. DeviantArt is still around, but I did eventually not get too interested in it because life happened. I worked overseas, and then when I got bored, like, and I got back to art again, um, I it took me a long time. I think a year or two ago, I tried to go on DeviantArt with one of my old accounts that I barely used, and they try to extort money from you. Like they say, "Oh, you have a free trial of having your art protected under free account, but if you want your art to be protected even further, you have to subscribe to our any of our subscription options." And I was like, I don't want to do that. And so if you don't have your art protected with the subscriptions by default when you join their subscription, your art is more likely to be stolen. So they give you this kind of threat that if you don't join them, you're going to have your stuff stolen and we can't protect you if you don't give us money. And I was like, oh geez, man. So I ended up quitting. I left again. So I was like, oh shit, man, I don't want to deal with that drama for your mama. I'm already a mama. I don't need more drama. So I had to leave again, take down most of the stuff. I left like maybe three or four things because I don't care. And then I just left. I was like, ugh, that's stupid. I don't want. Ew. So yeah, I've been looking for other arts or art play forums. Ugh, I don't like forums. There's too much writing. I don't have time to write. Not even typing. I'm like, ugh, I have to keep looking at this stuff. Maybe if I found a few cool people worth talking to, I don't mind. But if I have to keep being reminded by random people and their stupid posts, I'm like, I'm not very good with forums. And then art apps. Um, there was Kara or Kara, whatever. It's no better than those other places where the top amazing, prestigious uh, prodigy kids get the front, they get the state, they get the spotlight, and then all of us normal stragglers that are still talented but not as good as those other people, we just lie in the shadows. And I was like, ugh. And there's a lot of apps like that. Like, no matter how hard you work, you're still in the back. And Instagram's becoming that too. So I was like, oh gosh, what is the dang point, man? So yeah, I have been trying to look for. Well, I can't say I want an art community similar to DeviantArt because that was the internet during its novelty heyday, and now everyone has internet, and there's some nasty stuff on DeviantArt sometimes too. I was like, oh gosh. So I'm not very hopeful that I will ever find a community like that ever again. And there are a few instances where I would join an art group or I participate with other artists, but I feel like the art groups today versus how they were back then, they're very different. And they seem like their own world in a way. Like, we are here and people not like us are over there. And I don't like that feeling because I've been on the other side. I've been excluded, okay? I don't like being left out. I would want to encourage other people to try some art. You don't even have to have an experience. Just draw what you like, but keep it simple. Start something easy that you think you can try to draw. Even if it ends up bad, if you still like the process, keep doing it. That's what I've been doing this whole damn time. Even if I'm not the best at drawing, I still keep doing because I like what I'm doing. And I think I'm pretty sure there are some artists out there they don't want to encourage that kind of encourage give off that kind of encouragement because they're what if it turns out they're amazing at their at art and they're better than the people encouraging them and they can have a career and and it be like that sometimes. Like, they don't want them to find out their hidden potential in the art world because it's competitive and they need all the money for themselves, they need all the traction for themselves. And oh, my thing died. Okay, never mind. My PC. So I don't want to be like that. Even if it does turn out someone that I encounter that never picked up a pen to draw before, they are amazing at what they do. That's great. I mean, of course I'll be like jealous. That's fine. I'll be like, "Oh, that's so cool. I wish I can do that." That's my kind of jealous. I don't take it to a whole messed up level and involve ice picks. No. I will want to encourage people to try. I know, right? Yeah, these kinds of dogs, I don't like them. I think my oldest brother had this kind of dog, a Chihuahua, and they're mean. And I had to chase this little booger around my dad's property at one point, and they're fast runners when they really don't like you. But when they like their person, they're very affectionate and they're very clingy. And then they shake and they go, they make weird sounds. And their eyes are in two different directions, so you don't know who the dog's looking at, but I can understand the charm behind their face. And also, thank you for your comment. It's very funny how people find weird, dare I say, some of them ugly animals and find them. Well, I can't make fun because I like some weird animals too, like the naked cats. Like, they're bald and they're very pink and very naked. But some of them are chubby and they wear little old people sweaters and it's still cute. And then naked mole rats. Okay, now those are kind of ugly. Those are kind of gross. But I don't know why I keep staring at them. And some people drew some of the naked mole rats kind of cute, but they're also gross looking. I don't know. I think one example of people liking the ugly things are like blobfishes, but they didn't look like that originally. Just they're not used to the less pressure. I mean, the pressure up here, which is not very much compared to what they're used to. And so they come up all inside out and messed up. And they're not very cute, but some people like them. They have plushies and stationery out of blobfishes. I don't get it either. As for this chicken nugget, it's interesting. But yeah, That's another thing. I don't always want to draw the pretty things, the standardized, conventional, attractive things, both men and women. Though I do try to draw men more. I used to do the fan service drawings of women with big boobs and all that stuff, and yeah, that's the easy route of garnering attention. I can I can still do that again, but I did that for 20 years. I'm tired of it. Plus, I was focusing more on that than men and other things like animals that are more of a challenge. So I tried to do that a little more, but in baby steps. And by baby steps, I mean Sanrio heads and men bodies. And I garnered a lot of attention from that, but not for the right reasons, I think. But they're still funny, so I didn't mind. Okay, so oh, look how cute. Okay, it's not really. It looks kind of wet. But he has a cute smile. That's all that matters. Okay, now this one, did this dry? Okay. I think when my editor slash husband shows up, I have to turn it off. It's already an hour. Thank you so much for sticking around for those who have. I seriously appreciate it. Every time, I always appreciate it because it's a lot better than what I've been getting on Instagram. Instagram gods have failed me. Anyway, so I will try my best to be more proactive on YouTube then if this is the case. I cannot guarantee that it'll be like this all the time, but I do want to try to find preferable times for other time zones as well, not just US, because I feel like US doesn't care about me. I'm trying to laugh, but I kind of wonder how much truth there is. Anyway, yeah, I am trying to do what I can and still try to test how live streams and other features work because I'm not very smart at it, but it's good to learn. Better late than never. Yeah, some people I did suggest, I forgot to continue the story, to try to go on YouTube, and they're also introverted like me. And so they're like, oh no, I don't see myself doing that. YouTube, oh my gosh, no, why would I? That's too much pressure. Not if no one's watching you. Which I had most of the time. So you get more comfortable when there's less people, but when there's more people, like oh, technically like now for me, that this is a lot for me. That's a little it, it's okay. You kind of do it on a learning curve and figure things out. You can have a script. I also had a script, but more like bullet points, so I'm not like adhering entirely to the words that I've written. I can't do that because it'll sound like doing a second grade book report. Who the heck is that? Oh, I think it's my mother-in-law. But editor's in the toilet. So, I also am introverted, but I try not to use that as handicaps or excuses for me to not try anything new because when I stick to the same things I've been doing, I'm bored. I want to try to do something different so I can keep being interested in doing art things. And that's how I got into doing talking videos on Instagram and then live streams on YouTube and eventually live streams on Instagram and then they stopped because oh, I'm not popular enough and this and that. So but of course, I don't want to force people like you have to be on the live stream or no one will like you. No, it will not be like that. Just try at your own pace, baby steps. I've been doing tons of baby steps, so that's how far I know it is possible. But if you don't like it, you can do like a test run, and if you don't like it, just delete it. You have the option to delete it forever and never try again. You have that choice. You're not being hogtied and shoved to the pavement to make a live stream. I'm not, I swear. But it's okay to try a little bit, and if you don't like it, just delete it. That's totally fine. Or set it to private. You can go back and like, oh, okay, this is the first thing, and it sucks. This can be the starting point. You gotta suck somewhere, right? Don't 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 take that another direction, please. But what I'm trying to say is, it's okay to be horrible at your first attempt. Everyone's horrible at their first attempt. Okay, it's fine. It's called the learning process. You don't have to be perfect every freaking time. So, gosh, this is a little hard to draw the lips, okay? But yeah, you're going to have to deal with trial and error, trial and error. you may take a bit longer to get to figure out, oh, what works, what does not work. And if you're very intuitive, you know your audience well, you know what you want in your goal for your accounts, then I think you'll have a higher chance of getting things. I think you should also not focus too much on money. Oh no, I'm messing up. I can paint over it. That's my mother-in-law, but uh it's only one ringing though. Okay, so I think once the editor comes out, I have to finish for the day or night because we gotta go sleep. It's 1:30 a.m. where I'm at, and it's ugly. What the heck did I do? That's fine. See, the other thing is, I make mistakes too. This is not supposed to look like that. She has jowls now, but I can still fix it. That is fine. Claire with jowls. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't laugh. Don't laugh. Um, but yeah, I would like to encourage people to try art. You can use printer paper, notebook paper, pencils. You have no excuse as long as your hands work. And there's people who don't even have hands and they use their feet or they use their mouth. Like if there when there's a will, there's a way. You can. And there's elephants that draw, there's dogs that draw, there's raccoons that do paintings and get more followers and likes than me. When there's a will, there's a way. Like, ugh, maybe sometimes you wish I was a raccoon and maybe I'll get more attention. I'm just kidding. Raccoons smell and they bite and they ransack chicken coops. Anyway, I say things just to cope and sometimes laugh at myself and then continue on with life. Let's see here. Yeah, this is not a good pen, but I'm using it anyway because I don't feel like testing things. What is taking him so long? He is going. Is he building a house in there? Sorry. He said he's going to go poo, and then it's like already 20, 30 minutes, and that's not good for your health. Don't do that. Okay, so what did I do? I did another test run. This was a lot more successful than I thought, and I will make a note as to what time, but I have to do it where I actually have free time to do this kind of time slot. This is not really good for me in terms of, but if other people do like it and I can figure out a specific time to go online, then I will figure it out. And one option for sure is over the weekend, Friday or Saturday, because I usually am up anyway around this time. But I have to also consider my family does their own little live stream, and I'm not very. I don't have. That's when I don't have enough free time, so I'm like, I have to kind of navigate that around with my editor and see whether or not he can let me have some time, please. Can I spare a bit more time, sir or ma'am? Sir, I mean, he is a sir. So, okay. And then I was ranting about things and my situation again, for those of you unaware of the Instagram issues that I have. And thank you again for the like. Thank you for dropping by on here. I really appreciate it. I wish I can do more. Yeah, feel free to talk. Um, be on your best behavior. I want to believe in you, but I know how the internet works. There will always be those ragamuffin stragglers trying to challenge and try to provoke, but I'm too old for that crap, so have at it. If anything, I will learn how to ban or do the whole timeout thing. That's what I did last time with that one person. One person, and yeah, thankfully it was not that big of a deal, but they were asking for free arts, and I'm like, you don't even say thank you. What the hell? I don't even ask for money. I'll just say thank you. Shit. And then they don't want to do that. And then they say I'm a bad artist. Yeah, that's what happened. So, like I had people tell me bad shit about me and I don't have time for that crap. And I'll be like, oh, okay. Good to know. And then time out. So, okay, I think that'll be it for now. I need to get ready to go to sleepity sleeps. And thank you for having me. Thank you for watching. Let me know somewhere on, I don't know if I receive messages. I don't know, but like let me know if this is a good time around midnight, between 11 p.m. to midnight if it's a good time for me to go online. But bear in mind, it'll be around the weekend for sure, not weekdays. And have a good night and rest of your day wherever you are. And I'm going to get on out of here. Take care, guys. Thanks again. Bye bye.